We're live. Yay, 6 seconds. Okay. Um, my trollbot's already gone, so this is good. Um, what do we want to talk about today? Lots of fun stuff. Yay. Um, I'm here. Thank you for coming, whoever's watching. Thank you. Um, this is just dealing with a lot of um, things happening. Online and offline. It's now like it's getting kind of blurred, which is kind of really weird when my escapism is now having very similar problems with my real life, and my real life is picking up, and there's things happening and um, changes, especially to work, where I'm going to have more steady work and less craziness like today where I'm working, 10, 12 hours and um, I have tomorrow off, which actually surprises me. But then again, I now have a full week of just grumbling through the entire week. And it's more of the same. And once October 9th gets around, I'll have steady work. I'll be done and home around 1 o'clock pretty much every day. And I'm not going to be having to look for work or have people ask me or need me and all this other stuff. And I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be a very pleasant break, and I'll have a consistent Sunday off. I won't have this floating day off that it's been going around. And won't I have a day off type of thing. I remember a few years back, I had such a schedule that um, for an entire year I did not have a single day off except for 3 days, and the 3 days being 4th of July or July 4th, Independence Day, and Thanksgiving Day, not the day before, and not Black Friday, and of course Christmas Day, and not Christmas Eve, and not the day after Christmas Eve. Um, and I worked straight on through, and um, you know, was burnt out and really hating my job and hating the treatment that my job was doing, and just basically dealing with lots of ungrateful people, and realizing that my life revolved around my job. And um, it just takes me back to when I loved doing the work that I was doing and enjoyed every second of it, and worked way too much, and my life was just about the work. And people took advantage of that fact, but it didn't bother me because I liked doing it. I was being creative. I was, you know, making a lot of money, and um, that's the whole thing, you do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I have to say, being burnt out like that and having to constantly and continuously um, maintain that level of high standard, and especially when you're in demand, especially when you're in demand, it is um, a hard thing to stop, even if you're tired. And I, crashed. I crashed. Barely sleeping 4 hours a night and just working, 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 working. And that wasn't good. And I sometimes wonder with the fact that I eventually made the choice, the conscious choice, to not be bullied and remove myself from that lifestyle, that way of doing things, and almost shady dealings. And I would never say that I was innocent, but and I don't like when people um, tag me as a victim. Um, Definitely been bullied. Definitely, I am very trigger shy with people that, um, toothy smile type of thing. And somehow I am losing power. Let's try to regain power. Yeah. Shift this thing so much around that I lost power. It's charging, so that's good. This was about to cut off. Yeah. It says I had 2 minutes left before shutting down, and that would have been good. So a little further back. Maybe we'll push the chair up. Does that work? I don't know. But oh, bye. I'm sorry. That I'm kind of like talking about craziness, but let's try to get back on track. Um, I never saw myself as I would never classify myself as a victim, and I don't like when people talk to me about a victim. Um, I do feel that standing up, accepting the consequences, um, looking at the people that I actually did harm along the way, um, which I did do. I am not, like I said, I would never consider myself innocent or anything like that. But I don't like hurting people. Um, I try to do no harm. I mean, and I know the doctors. That's the doctor's mantra, but I try to be in that um, mindset in dealing with other people. And now, um, how other people felt when I was younger really didn't matter to me. I probably I've hurt a lot of people, mostly unintentionally, and it's one of the reasons why, like, I try to stay conscious of that ripple effect for the things that I do. Um, I own, I own what I say, um, about anything at any time, even joking around and being playful and stuff like that. I own my words. Um, and it's it's definitely been a journey. Um, and I don't know if that in my pursuit of what society would deem as successful, whether I inadvertently, um, I'm I'm hugely big on self sabotaging myself, and whether I inadvertently doing that pursuit of success and fame and fortune and all the other stuff that I was in the middle of doing, whether I missed opportunities to find my tribe and be with the people that um, are my people, as it was. Um, and there's a reason I guess they say that it's lonely at the top, because I am. I think I'm mentally in a better place. I think that I am physically in a better place. Um, I think that I definitely have more control over what I'm doing, instead of basically being used as, becoming somebody else's tool to be used. I definitely have now more control over what I'm doing. Even though I hate my job, I still maintain that, control. And the good thing about hating my job is that if something better comes along, and I'm working towards that, even with the progression and the good things that are happening in the job, I can still I don't think I'm going to basically fall in love with what I'm doing for a living. And it's having that is it's not a nice thing to have, because it's hard. It takes a lot of energy, being in it, but definitely, if it's a kind of a mundane job, but I enjoy it, it would be harder for me to leave. I am fiercely loyal, even to the job. I'm fiercely loyal. I still want to always do the best job that I possibly can, even with the mixed messages and the things that they do. I still I still pursue my own personal excellence, and I don't and just I don't need them to see it. I don't want them to see it, because I think I do believe that they'll see that as a weakness or something that they can exploit, and I don't want to be exploited anymore. Um, this new change is definitely it's it's definitely awakened, some um, butt hurtness and stuff like that within the company. But they'll get over it. Um, I'm reporting to different people, and I don't have to worry about them not giving me enough hours, or them thinking that I'm more than one person. I can pretty much pull miracles out of my butt, which I can't do and I don't do. I do the best that I can, and that's it. Um, but the good news about not really or being hurt. That's really what it boils down to, is that I've been hurt by this job so much, financially and physically and everything like that, that leaving it, um, I will do my best to try to leave it under good terms, but leaving it is not an issue. Definitely, if the grass is definitely greener, I am going to go to greener pastures, and not be a part of that anymore. Um, it is um, I know what I want to. I know what I wanted to say, and I'm just not really formulating the words into it. But there, um, when I fled, because it's really what it boils down to. When I fled California, um, after several opportunities presented themselves, and you know, a disastrous writer strike, um, then that was literally followed right. It was the housing crisis was literally on the heels of it. Which the housing crisis, when that happened, and the recession happened, all just compounded um, how horrible things were. And of course, the death of my mentor, um, obviously didn't help. It definitely made things more difficult to want to stay. And of course, people turning their backs on me while I tried to maintain um, some dignity as I walked away. Speaking about my mentor, I've mentioned my three before. Um, my mentor, who was in the film industry and the entertainment industry, and very big, and did a lot things. He was also an artist, and um, a photographer, and a sketch artist, to be exact, not a painter, but and a photographer and a filmmaker, and um, um, a creative person in every way, shape, or form. And I was very happy and very excited that he decided to mentor me. He is one. Another one was a Franciscan priest. And if you heard about how I feel about religion and my faith and my beliefs and stuff like that, um, you can possibly, if you think my beliefs and stuff like that are kind of crazy and out there, that's pretty much how I feel about your beliefs. So, and whatever they are, and including atheism and stuff like that, I think it's all kind of craziness, silliness, magic, hokey pokey. Um, and I have my beliefs. I hold to them. They are beliefs. They're not scientific fact. They are not. They are based on more feeling than what scriptures or anything like that. They're just, that's where I am spiritually, and that's where I'm kind of happy being in that spot. Um, and um, the brother who was in the Franciscan order. Um, you know, a Catholic priest. Um, I was very good friends with, and spiritually, he kind of was my spirit guide, and he never judged. We talked about religion all the time. We talked about faith and everything like that. And he gave me ideas, and I think that maybe if showed him a few things, or at least how to deal with people who um, are not looking to regain lost faith. Um, very, um, he was very moved, and the the last one and first, I'm gonna give this backwards as far as the last one, and definitely the first was my grandmother, and she definitely is my heart. Um, I think about her all the time, and she was a no nonsense, you know, beer guzzling, cigarette smoking, tough as nails person, and I admired her, and she, you know, definitely a guide, and she had a lot of idioisms. No, I'm saying that wrong, but that's all right. Um, she she definitely in my heart, and um, and definitely another guide. All three of them are like my guides, and they still the lessons that they've taught me and the things that we've discussed and stuff like that. Still to this day, guide me through my decision making. Um, I know that um, it makes people wonder because these three individuals were human beings. They were flawed. They were not. I did not hold them under pedestals or anything like that. But I definitely held them up. So maybe it is on a pedestal. I don't. I don't know how that stupid metaphor works, but I was never blind to the fact that they were human beings, that they made mistakes and they were flawed, and you know they got me as much as you know a person who could. I I think they knew. I would like to think that all three of them knew how amazingly special they were to me and my life and everything like that. And I definitely would not be as um, functional. I guess is probably the best way to say it because I'm definitely not normal. But functional, I think I would be less functional in this world than I am without them. And I have other people who I hold um, very dear. They're very dear to me. But those three people tend to fall um, under them as if I had to put a tier list, got S tier and A tier, B. You got a tier list. If I had a tier list for it, these are my S tiers, and but as far as what I see, mind, body, and spirit, um, you know, my mind definitely would go to my mentor, um, who um, encouraged my photography, encouraged my filmmaking, encouraged my writing, encouraged everything that I pursued. Um, and not only that, I think that there was a large sense of pride that I had trouble understanding what that was because in my childhood, I did not have people proud of me. In fact, I spent most of my childhood thinking that I was just a bad kid and that nothing good, that I was just going to always be bad. And um, I I didn't realize like it's where my grandmother really comes into play. I mean, she pretty much opened my eyes to the fact that people should be punished for a reason. There should be consequences for actions, and there should be punishment, and then there should be recompense. Yeah, she was definitely big on fixing, coming up with solutions to the problem. Um, and if there isn't a solution, there shouldn't be a punishment. I mean, it's how it should work. You have to be able to resolve. Um, you have to be able to resolve it in order to understand what you're being punished for. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that I spent a lot of time being punished for things I didn't even know. That I didn't know. I didn't know I was doing wrong. I just knew I was being punished. Um, it's it is one of the, I guess, bizarro, crazy bizarro things in my life that um, you know it's hard to like actually describe it like without it seeming absurd, but it made perfect sense at the time. I'm a bad kids get punished. Don't have to do bad. You're just a bad kid and you're getting punished. And I accepted that. Accepted that's how it was. Um, I you know, like I said, it took me a long time to realize like I'm not supposed to be getting punished for being alive. I'm not supposed to be punished for being me. Um, I used to punish myself for being different. Um, there's the Greatest Showman song. This is me, and it's about somebody telling people, you should hide away, you should do this. Well, the problem with telling somebody to hide away and don't show your scars, don't show your vulnerability, don't show who you are, is that you start to not want to show yourself who you are. I no longer wanted to be me. And this gets into um, where I started doing impressions and I started to act like other people. When I say that I wanted to be Barry White when I grew up, I didn't want to just be like Barry White. I wanted to become Barry White. And it's like that's where people got really upset with me when they realized like I wanted to become Barry White. I even practiced impersonating his voice and stuff like that. Even with a high squeaky voice that I had at the time, I um, yeah, I would watch TV shows, movies, and stuff like that. And it's not that I saw myself in the show, I wanted to become those characters. And when I learned about acting, I wanted to become the characters that I was portraying on stage. And some people might think that, like, wow, that must mean you were a great actor. And like I said, my professor told me, yeah, you can do whatever you want, just don't act. He literally told me not to pursue acting. That's how horrible I was. So um, it's one of those things that you know um, I don't know if it um, lessens the impact that people when they watch this stream and stuff like that to know that I am acting. I have agendas. I have things. Yes, I'm being totally real or whatever, but I still maintain that this is fictional. I'm a persona. I am not, even though I'm using my real name, I am not, you know, what you see is what I'm giving you as what Sean is. And it might seem like a lot. I think I'm a complex character. I think that if I was a character written in a book, there would be, it would be epic. There would be thousands and thousands of pages written just about me. And I wouldn't be the main character in the story. So it's one of the crazy things about being a human being. But even that, there are aspects of my life that I can't divulge. Um, there's safety reasons for some of them. Um, there is, involving other people that can't, happen. And I wouldn't say that it frees up the persona to do other things, but, the persona is going to become whatever the persona is. It's a character. It's, it's Sean like, and it's allowed to use my name and all that other fun stuff. It gets kind of complex when you really start getting meta into the whole thing about it. And this is a broken fourth wall because I'm dealing with the audience directly, and each spark has each spark that you're all sparks. Each spark in my community, each has their own. You're a whole. There's a whole persona. There's a whole you that I am excited to see. Wanting to meet and trying to welcome you in without being a total and a spastoid about it, and don't want you to know that I'm such a freaking loser and I simp for you and everything like that. But it is what it is. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to try to be very welcoming and open arms, and if you like hugs, I like hugs too. But I know that I'm going to love you, and I hope you love me back. Not you loving me back is not something that it's a requirement, but I hope it happens. But I know that I already love you, so I know that you're already without even meeting you yet, you're already very special to me, and I want you to know that it's okay to be you, because it's something that I was never told, and it would have been nice, I think, to hear a few times. Growing up, it's one of the main reasons why I have my three, because those people pretty much encouraged me to always be me. And I know that's kind of like, a little trite and, maybe cliche in a bit, to always say, be yourself. That person is so wonderful. And it's definitely a job. And, and the great thing about that job is nobody else can have that job but you. You're going to be the only you there is. And like I was saying, I spent a lot of years trying to be somebody else, something else. I tried to fit, especially when I started dating. I tried to be, I wanted to be that person that the other person was looking for. I was going to be their soulmate. And it's fucking exhausting to do that. I fucking hate it. And I really did not like myself. And I know that after 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I kind of hated the person that I was dating. And however it was going to end, it ended. And if I had to weigh, if I could have written, I should write a book. Maybe I should write a book about, the number of ways that people can break up after 2 weeks. Because if there was a way for a person to break up with another person, I did it. And I always say that, every single person that I dated was wonderful. They're special. Almost all of them fake. They were trying to do the same thing that I was trying to do. They were trying to fit as, somebody who would be in my world, while at the same time I was trying to be in their world. And it was very toxic, horrible relationships. And that could have been so much nicer and so much more fun. And um, the only constant in all my failed relationships with people is me. I'm the one who's there. I've never been jealous of, um, especially especially the more disastrous ending. I mean, I've been stabbed, I've been shot at, I've been hit by cars. I have been thrown out of windows. I have been set on fire. I have, like I said, if there was a way that person I've had people basically hire henchmen to freaking take care of me and beat me up, and I've been beaten up. Um, I've been hit in the head by all sorts of objects, um, and it it's never good, and um, it's just basically awful. Um, and like I said, there were always opportunities, and I'm definitely a self sabotager, and I definitely, if I was, there was no relationship that was beyond me sabotaging. So, and I had to help, two to tango as it was, the other person, some of them recovered almost just as quickly as the relationship was, and some of them I don't think ever recovered from dating me. So I was like, and when I say that I was a disaster, um, in with relationships, I was a one man wrecking crew. It just awful. I had to actually create rules because of all the friggin' horrible relationships. I had to actually create rules for dating. And I broke the rules all the time, but I had those rules for a reason. And the reason that I had those rules is because anytime that I did break those rules, it ended up worse than it was. And, especially like after 2 weeks making the decision, um, that was definitely a rule. You date for 2 weeks. It could be two dates in the 2 weeks, 2 times together. Um, I had a rule where I was just exclusive, and then I realized like going, it's why would I want to why would I do that to myself when somebody else could be not better, but somebody else could be a better fit um, for me than the person that I'm actually with. And the one thing about, because people call that cheating, and I said the one thing that differentiates what I was doing and what most people do is I didn't sneak around. I made everybody very well aware of what was going on, and it ended relationships. I've been with people who basically said we are exclusive, and I, in order to stay in that relationship, I agreed to those terms, and I held true to them. I have been cheated on. It sucks. It's not good. The biggest problem about when somebody cheats on you, and they might not be a cheater afterwards, but if somebody has cheated on me, the awful thing about that is that I will never trust them for a relationship again, because that's what cheating is, to me. um, I definitely think that if you're open and honest, and you you say, this isn't working, and those things, as hard as, and it's as like a lot of people thought, I'm a freaking cold-hearted, snake, or you have no heart, Sean, and I want to tell him, like, going, I the problem is that I have a heart as big as the old outdoors. It's huge. My my feelings and everything like that are so intense, and I was kind of a little over passionate, and everything like that. um I had to actually, keep a clamp on it, because I had to hold back and not, because I knew it was going to be painful. I knew it was going to be hurt. I knew I was going to be hurt. And still I got hurt. Still it was painful. Still I, tried, it's the expression for insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I still would take that step forward. Um, it, I've told people that it's over, and we're done and stuff like that, and they thought I was joking. And like it's tough enough to say it. It's hard enough when they don't believe it, and you have to now make them believe what's going on. And those are the difficult times. I have been broken up with. I've had women, cheat on me. Is one of the worst ways that people have broken up with me, especially when they're the ones who set the rules about being exclusive. But even in the relationships where I wasn't exclusive, don't freaking lie to me. Don't lie to me that I'm the only one, and I am, the sun, I'm your sun, moon, and stars. I'm not. You got something else going on. Tell me about it. And yeah, it might hinder your time with me. It might. It, in fact, it most likely would and will. It's how it works. But I'm not exclusive. If I'm not exclusive to you, you shouldn't be exclusive to me, or vice versa. If you're not exclusive to me, I'm not exclusive to you. That all the ground rules always set. Um, I did do the especially when I was in college, because I was always watching my money. I was spending my money because of college. That's one thing about college that nobody tells you about, is that even if you take out loans, you still got to pay those suckers back. Even if you take out all that stuff, you still got to pay it back. And guess what? Paying it up front is probably the best way to do it. The problem with paying it up front is that you don't have a lot of money for anything else. So depending on how much money you're earning, paying for college without scholarships and without, which is how I started college, and I had to end up getting scholarships and grants and ways to pay for college that I could do and live and continue schooling, which is a whole nother aspect of college that they don't tell you about. You think that all you're doing in college is basically going to classes and learning. No, you're also financing your college. And yeah, I watch a lot of people. There's a whole reason that the student loan thing is huge problem and a big deal, because people now have to pay back all those loans, and they've gained so much interest on top of it that they're almost impossible to pay back. It's designed that way. And but I when I did college, I made sure I paid for my own college. Made sure I paid for it my own way. And yeah, not wasn't always on the up and up, but I definitely did that. Definitely left college without debt. Um, to do that, um, the financial burden tends to fall upon the man. That's a societal norm, which I fucking hate. I think it's stupid. I had to come up with the rule that if I'm asked out on a date, the person asking pays for it. If I'm asking a person out on the date to go do something, or or whatever it is, I pay for it. 100%, no going Dutch, none of that bull fucking shit. Um, I'm welcoming your company to be with me. It's my treat. If you are welcoming my company to be with you, it's your treat. Doesn't matter male or female, genders don't matter. I happen to be male, and that's about that's about where it ends. We are not in a relationship. We are not madly, deeply in love. I could be very attracted to you, and lust is not love, and all that other fun stuff. So, um, being attracted to somebody is totally different than being in love with somebody. And having a relationship with somebody is not attraction. Attraction plays only such a small role in building a relationship. And I'm This is coming from an idiot freaking who destroyed relationships. Destroyed them. I'm like I said, I was a one-man wrecking crew. I was asked how many people I dated at one time. The total number is 7, um, but the realistic number was 5, and it's the same time too. So, um, and the reason it was 7 is because for a brief day, less than a day, there was um, 2 going out and 1 coming in. And there was a 3 going out. Whatever. I was having it was a very fluctuating thing with, people coming and going all the time. And for a real brief time, the 5 was a good number for me. Five was where I could maintain, but again, it wasn't a steady 5. It was a 5, 5 people that were on constant flux. And yeah, 5, 2 going out, 1 coming in. Yeah, something like it was, but I've been down to 4, went down to 3, sometimes down to 1, sometimes back up to 5, but for a very brief time, it hit 7, and I think it was 2 coming in, and at the same time 1 going out, and it was like all 7 at one moment, brief moment, a couple hours even, before all basically went back down to 5. And the but with 5 people, that I'm trying to have a relationship with, I have to admit, I am awful at planning things, awful at scheduling things. They tried to do their days, and then we had shared days, and one in, one out, and this stuff, and how much time, and people vying for more time, and all the freaking stupid harem tropes that you see in anime, all going on at once, except for the fact that I was sleeping with pretty much all of them at the time and wasn't doing the will he sleep with them thing. I just went with the flow. And I was heavily drinking a lot, so there was. I don't mean to use that as an excuse for why my relationships were all a disastrous mess. Why people constantly fought when we were supposed to be in, a polygamist, whatever it was, and I've had women that I've dated. Like I said, if I'm not exclusive to you, you're not exclusive to me. So the idea that the people that I was, dating, were only seeing me, that was, but they needed to be honest about it. If they lied about it and they, hid it, worrying about hurting my feelings. Now, I didn't have any rule about what they told their other partners. I told everybody knew about each other. As far as I was concerned, for me, I did not I did not have control or want control over what was going on in their relationship with another person. And yes, a lot of the people that I dated were sneaking around on other people. Um, Before I was in college, I had a huge attraction to married women, and that is just so you know how awful that is. That's like one of the worst things that I could have an attraction to. But the main reason that I liked married women is not because not attraction is probably the freaking wrong word. Preference is probably the better word to say about married women that I was with. One of the main reasons that I was with married women. See, I don't care what they were doing with their husbands, or well, at the time there were no same-sex marriages. But I don't care what they were doing with their husbands. Um, did not Their relationship did not concern me. Only thing that I was ever concerned with was my relationship to them, and I liked the reason that being married was a very good thing is because I could kick them out. I can send them back to their husbands. I could, not have time for them, and I could be very short with them, and I loved that. Um, I loved I loved the ability to say la vie. Um, and yeah, that goes into like how heartless I was. Um, I I don't know, I didn't give my heart out very easily or readily. I do that more now than I ever did when I was dating. And I don't know why. And maybe it was the bad boy, me being a bad boy, that bad boy persona that women are attracted to. That people are like, you're such a scumbag, Sean. Why do you date all these women? How do I get women? Why don't people like nice guys? And I'm like, hey, I'm a nice guy. That's the problem. You just don't ask for what you want, and when a woman tells you no, you don't say that's fine and move on. Stupid thing that a lot of people do is they try to change their mind, and I did not change minds. I actually saw that as bullying. I don't like it. Um, if somebody did not want to be with me, they weren't with me. I There definitely some people I was with definitely played that game where they wanted that validation of my attraction to them, and um, the ability to tell me no. And the problem was that they found was when they told me no, I said fine. That's it. No is no. No means no. Uh, you can lose my number and I'll lose your number, and hopefully we part on nice terms. I guess we can still be friends. And that whole thing, like, let's be friends or let's stay friends, and at the end of a relationship, uh, I laugh because it's such a joke to me. I um break all my breakups were bad. Um even the ones that ended amicably or nice and stuff like that. I did not have a continued relationship with people that I've dated. Um I If I had a continued friendship with them, it's because I was breaking my rule about once you break up, you don't go back. And I was just basically going back, and we basically ended up having a freaking another relationship. It's like, here we are trying the same bullshit again. And the same reason that we broke up in the first place is the same reason we're going to break up again. And without fail. And I am, like I said, when I can sabotage something, I definitely will sabotage it. And that I've been with some women that knew that I think they instinctively knew what I was doing, and thought that they could ride it out. But I, like I said, I'm a wrecking crew. So, and being stern, hard, mean, nasty, malicious, indignant, or anything like that people have tried when the relationships has ended, um, had almost no effect on me except for the physical harm that it actually caused. Um, I definitely broke hearts, and it's awful that it happened, and it's even worse that here um, these women poured their hearts into the relationship and desperately tried to make the best of it, and they were stuck with me. And it's like I can't even like imagine um, what that must have been like, um, to just basically almost feel helpless with this disaster of a person, that I don't know, that you thought you could fix, or whatever it was that I want, or you thought I was cute and adorable and lots of fun, and I have a good sense of humor and all those other things that go along with it, but I'm just a piece of shit. And um, all you want to do is hold on to the good things that we had, and I am, in the middle of my own freaking mental freaking breakdown, and onto the next latest greatest newest bullshit stupidity whatever I was doing. And I definitely did not like to be owned. And I definitely dated a lot. I think that's ingrained. I think that's ingrained in not just women, but men as well. That ownership that they have of the person that they're dating, not the person they're married to. Marriage is a contract, and that's a whole different deal in of itself. But I don't think that marriage should be ownership either. But we'll just talk about dating. You shouldn't own the person you're dating. I mean, that possessiveness and craziness, like I never understood. And it was one of the things that I found made a lot of the women that I dated very unattractive. And it went both ways. It definitely went both ways. And yes, I dated mostly women. I did have dated a few men, but um, men and me have not been. The relationships just they can be fun. I am, like I said, I was already a disaster mentally and everything like that. That even the relationships that I should have pursued with men, where I had those opportunities, I not in the right headspace and the right, um, you know, not fulfilling the needs that I thought that I wanted, and especially the needs that society had deemed that I needed um, to have that type of relationship with even the ones that even the men that I did date. I've had men ask me out and go on dates, and I've gone to gay clubs and had a great time. You know, I the gender of the person who asked me out has no bearing. And again, follow the rules. I will admit that I have never asked out um, a man, only asked out women. And when I'm in the middle of dating or having a lot of women pursuing me, I tend to not ask out even women because it usually becomes very difficult for me to keep track of everything that's going on, and it's when you get into like dating 5 people at once. The biggest problem with having 5 people at once is that the names get mixed up. And that's the worst thing. And I know that I used honey and sweetie and stuff like that a lot to try to cover up my um, confusion and drug addled and intoxicated alcohol soaked brain, to try to like to make sense of it all. And a lot of the times a lot of that time is for me is just a blur. I just know what happened, and the happened was bad. But um, yeah, my attraction to men is I don't have a lot of attraction to men, but if if you're were listening, personality, who they are is more amazing to me, and um, men or women who reveal that is just I'm all in on that. And a person being who they are um, could sustain me forever. I don't even know if there's a limit. Um, here's that's the thing that hasn't come up yet. I definitely had a switch for me. Um, and like I said, it happened in the middle of dating where I was trying to be that person that they wanted to be. And that was just a complete and total fucking, um, just a mess. You start lying and you start, compounding the lies with other lies and stuff like that. And I developed, and this is where my storytelling comes into play. Before I started dating, I was already storytelling. So I developed a really good system of how to tell stories and that's how I kept almost all my facts straight. Was the story kept the facts straight. And I would tell the same story differently to different people. So it actually kept people different from me so that I would have that start. It's really complicated and unnecessarily so. But that's what I was doing, and lying to people is just wrong. And being, storytelling, I don't feel is wrong, but there is definitely people that I've dated that I've told stories to that um, did not appreciate what the story was. They just saw it for what they believed it to be, which is a lie. And that's why I tell stories. I tell stories not just I like stories that people believe me, It keeps the story alive. But I don't tell people what to believe and how to believe it, or what is actually true and what is actually made up. Is the stories are meant to be um, more about the person I'm telling the story to than about me, even though it's a story from me. So there's elements of the story, but I cater the story to the person. To cater the story to my audience, as opposed to um, what the story was and how the story happened. And I've gotten very good at that. And though technically a lot of the stories that I tell are 100% true, it's the way I tell them that could either be seen as false and always 100% fiction. They they didn't really happen. My life did, things happened, but my life did not happen that way. And I usually paint because of the way because people don't like the awful part of the story. I usually paint the story in a much better light than it is, or how I actually saw it. And I think it's because I'd always seen myself as a very ugly person, personality wise. And when I told stories, I could be beautiful, I could be, handsome, I could be daring. Um, even a story about me being a coward, I could be all those things. I can be, I could garner, um, sympathy and even lust and stuff like that in the story. Storytelling is a storytelling is an amazing thing for me. And I wrote a song about it. Freaking Smash Mouth All Star. I did it based on Big Fish, the movie, and that's which is about storytelling. And um, I I'm I'm very sad that the storytelling, um, the artistry of it, is dying out, and I sometimes feel I'm not mentoring anybody in storytelling, and I don't know if I would be a good mentor, especially with how scatterbrained I am. Even though I wanted to be a professor when I went to college, um, I don't know. I just I don't know if I could be mentally stable enough to become a mentor to somebody to become a storyteller. But I love it. I loved it more than most of my relationships with people. Um, but that here's where that is. I should not have been a fucking liar. Um, uh, and um, the honesty and you know needs to be there. And I I justified it as honesty because I never cheated on them. Um, I um, never told them something that I did not feel, even untrue. Um, I, I did feel those things. And um, but yeah, and the the ugly parts of stories, starving on beaches and stuff like that. I don't usually tell people about that stuff. The walking until I collapsed, down a highway and slept in, basically right beside the road with traffic because I couldn't walk anymore. Those parts of the story I don't usually tell people. They know. They don't know about. They know. People are like going, "Wow, you walked from this place to this place." Yeah. I, you know, I sometimes would tell about the times I got picked up as a hitchhiker. Sometimes I tell about hitchhikers that I picked up, but I don't tell about the awful things that happen. I usually tell just part of it. Um, I have never, I've never protected um, a sexual predator um, with my stories. So I mean, like when people are awful to me, I usually make it known. Um, Sometimes the way I tell the story, it doesn't make sense why I have an awful feeling about people, but it's usually because they're awful to me in some way, and I just don't, you know, it's not the right time or place to share that. And I have to say, obviously my big three, is a group that I could have told anything to, including my stories. In fact, I tested out most of my stories with them. Um, you know, think we have long conversations and I'm not telling a story? If you thought that, you don't have a 5 hour conversation with somebody and not tell a story or two or four. Um, I think like with Father Angela, I think that he was astounded. Not by I think he liked the stories that I said, but I definitely think that he was definitely astounded by the fact that that I would never stop. That there's always a story to tell. We can talk about books, and I have a story to tell. We could talk about TV shows, and I'd have a story to tell. I think he was probably most amazed by that. Yeah, I'm here. I am. I'm projecting onto him. But he definitely encouraged more stories. So he definitely, he encouraged it. I kept giving, and I always wondered if he was wondering if there was ever going to be an end, a time for me to stop telling the story. Maybe that's what he was waiting for, and it never happened. But yeah, if I could meet more storytellers, people seem to be storytellers. Um, People seem to be storytellers. And they seem to be a part of that, and they seem, and it just I really have not. I think that's one of the aspects in my life where I do feel very much alone. Um, I see movies about storytellers, and the person who creates the movie you'd think is the storyteller, and they never put themselves in the storyteller's shoes. And I don't understand it. Why can't you be a storyteller? But yeah, so that's where it's at. Uh, my hour session is up. Therapy is over. How did that make me feel? Um, I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're having a wonderful, great night, and everything is going swimmingly for you, and you're just enjoying life. I know that we are, you know, it's been very difficult, especially for some. Um, I did my rant yesterday about COVID, so but people are dealing with, awful things, and it's really, really, um, it's heartbreaking when you realize that you know people are just struggling to survive, and I know they feel like they're losing the fight, and um, I um, hope they make it to Tuesday's stream, and yeah, um, I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I should continue it or whether I should pause it there, and you get that. But I think that it was a fun idea, and I know that it's really meant for Christmas, and I know that some people aren't going to make it to Christmas, and I kind of selfishly want you to see it, and it's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, and I think that you're worth it. You're worth me doing even this. Um, just unburdening myself, and I've had people tell me that this helps, and it's nice to have, and if I can give that, you know, that my heart is full. Um, I I hope you make it to it. I hope you don't have to put nobody has. I'm not making anybody do anything that they don't want to do or feel uncomfortable doing. Um, I just want you to enjoy, and if I have to just basically do what I'm doing now, or leave Santa to his own devices, um, and not have any questions or anything like that. It's we'll make do. Maybe I'll write some questions for Santa. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I if I get a absolute flood of questions and lots of people talking in chat, we're going to deal with the chat questions, and um, we'll deal with the chat questions, and we will then deal with um, the email questions if there's time, and the DM questions. Sorry, not people aren't emailing me; they're just DMing me. But we'll deal with those after if there's time, and if there's not time, those questions will be saved up, and we will use them. Um, if you are DMing me a question, um, either give me a name that you want me to use if you don't want me to use your real name, or um, you know you could be anonymous if you want. um, it's it's whatever you want it to be. I'd like to say who's saying, who's asking the question, especially if we don't get to the DM questions. And like I said, and if you see what my chat's doing right now, and you see how many people aren't on, um, it, I'll definitely get to them. But if not, um, if you DM me, put a name because we'll hold off until I believe is it 12 days? It's 12 days of Christmas, so we start on like the 13th of December. No, we would start. We would start probably on, yeah. So we'd want to end on Christmas Eve, right? So 12 days. So we would start on the 12th. So 12 and 12. So yeah, we'd probably start on the 12th of December, and go right into Christmas and ending on Christmas Eve. And um, and it would definitely, I might have to do more for those, instead of just letting Santa basically, take over the stream. And um, because he's going to probably be really busy. He's got to be really busy for Christmas. So we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll start on the 10th or something like that, and then before Christmas Eve. So I know those last few days get pretty hectic for Santa. Um, so we'll figure out I'll figure out what he's doing and stuff like that. But he definitely says he's looking forward to doing Tuesday. Um, Sort of filled in on what we're doing, and so he knows that it's basically a free for all, and anything goes, and it is not for kids. So and he's kind of happy with that idea for some strange reason, and it's not safe for work. So could be a lot of really wacky stuff happening. Um, I don't think I'm going to be streaming any nudity. I don't think that it's going to have anything that. I don't think I'm going to be streaming any violence. I don't think Santa's going to be streaming any violence. But, and I don't know if people are going to, um, you know, try to be nice to each other. Don't be mean. Come and being mean spirited. It's just not a nice. It's not a nice way to be. Um, and that's just telling me I got to go. Um, I'm gonna probably stream tomorrow. And now we got 4 days until the Tuesday stream. Um, yeah, send me the questions or write down your question and stuff like that if you're going to be in the chat. Um, I'm going to try to keep Santa or let Santa have as much time as he needs. And it could be 5 minutes. But hopefully not. Oh, that kind of pissed me off if he only comes in and then leaves right away. Um, um, I don't think I have a start time yet. Let's start it at noon. Why not? Um, oh, oh no. Oh no. I'm such a fucking idiot. Oh no, I can't start it at noon. I'm working. Oh. I'm working. I'm just kept done telling you fucking working. They fucking changed my schedule on me, and I'm no longer off on Tuesday. I'm now working fucking Tuesday. I'm off tomorrow. All already posted a tweet. It's going to be in the afternoon. It's probably going to be around 3 o'clock. That fucking sucks. Oh, I just realized they did this to me. Let me smoke a cigarette. I'm now brain fucking fried. I'm all fucked up now. Yeah, I'm working. I can't even start the stream. Uh, uh, what the fuck? Shit. I have to find out whether I can contact Xana and see if I can get him here tomorrow. Because tomorrow's my fucking day off, not Tuesday. Maybe I'll do a special premiere or something like that Tuesday. Shit. Fucking shit. All right, I only did one tweet, and I can go back and I can take care of that tweet. I think one person freaking said they liked it. I'll try to see how many views I got it. Maybe I'll reply to it and figure it out. It's people who are watching this. This might be the the Santa Eve freaking episode. Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. I fucking hate work. They fucked it all up. I'm gonna definitely see if I can call Santa and see if I can get him here tomorrow. Sunday with Santa. I guess Sunday with Santa definitely sounds better than Tuesday Claus or whatever fucking I was thinking about calling it. But Sunday with Santa is definitely a better ring to it. So I haven't had a Sunday off in so freaking long. Oh, I'm so fucked up. Oh, it sucks. Most of the people that this is for, I gotta just remind myself that most of the people that this is for are not gonna be on Tuesday, and I definitely do a live stream Tuesday, and we'll figure it out. But if I'm working, there's prep time and stuff like that I gotta do. I can't work and come home and just go. Oh. Oh, this is so messed up. We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. Figure it out. And like I said, I might do like an encore, and I'll do a live stream on Tuesday in case people want to come in on Tuesday. But hurry in with your questions and prepare for Sunday. Sunday. We're gonna do Sunday. We'll do Sunday with Santa. I think that's what we'll do. I gotta call him, so I gotta go. Um, I gotta see if I can get him here. I don't even have. I was gonna do picture in picture, and I still haven't figured out how to do that. What if he knows how? I'll ask him. I'll ask him if he knows how to do it. All right. I love you. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Um, it hurts sometimes, and some people are hurting really, really bad right now. And I send you all, get well, get better. I hope your suffering is eased, and um, I have. That's why I wanted to do this stream, and because I know that some of you are not going to make it to Christmas, and I hope you even get the chance to see this stream when it happens. And feel like a freaking idiot, and this just changed today. So I didn't even know that they were doing this to me until today. Because my schedule. Such a fucking idiot. All right, I gotta go. I hope you're having a fantastic night or day or wherever you're at, and I hope that it's awesome. And I know that for Aussies that we are in. Is it? It's like 10 o'clock. It's like 10 o'clock Sunday morning for you. And right, is that right? It's like, yeah, it's like 10 o'clock Sunday morning, right? Yeah, it is. It's 10 a.m. No, it's noon. It's noon. It's noon in Australia, right? No, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in Australia? Whatever. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. And I think it was 16 hours. My time frame is correct. It's already freaking Sunday at noon. It's 1 o'clock, so I would be an hour into my stream if I was shooting this in Australia. And I'm sorry I'm not shooting this in Australia, and this will probably be. So 1 o'clock will be Monday for you, and very early in the morning. Right? Yeah. If I started it at noon, it would be very early in the morning. And it would be 4 o'clock in the morning. I think 4 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Australia time. Oh, look at that. Oh, brain messed up. I think it's also a 16-hour difference to Japan, too. I think that's how that works. Or is it 15 hour? 15 hours in Japan difference. It's Eastern Standard Time. But it's ahead. 16 hours ahead. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Take care. Cool beans. And we're gonna end it here as I try to figure out my life. And I gotta contact Santa like now. All right. So take care. 9 o'clock at night. And it is late for him. So hope he's still up. Take care.